Now, Jim, it's how big? It broke the glass right then and there. And you don't think he's gonna make it into school? This isn't good. Farmer Jim said something big is rolling through town. It had the kitchen shaking so bad it took his old lady's pickle jar right off the counter and snapped everywhere. He doesn't know if Timmy's gonna make it into school tomorrow. He won't get out from under the bed. He said we better shut the barn doors and batten down the hatches. Oh man. So we have a beautiful Fendt 1167 Vario MT, I believe is the correct wording. This is an awesome demo from Lowe and Young. No, we have not purchased this. I believe it's something that we'd like to, but we really gotta sharpen the pencils to see if this works. But our plan for this tractor, and we are not gonna get into it tonight, obviously this will be tomorrow and the next day's adventure, is we would like to run a 35-foot high-speed disc across some acres that we are planning on putting into hay next year. So this lovely trucker, he broke down earlier, or I think he broke down yesterday. He would have been here this morning when it was daylight. But hey, I mean, stuff happens. We run equipment too, so everything just breaks. He is 108,000 pounds gross. He figured that with all the carriage weights, I think you have 9 weights stacked up on each of these. It wouldn't be called a wheel well, a track well. He's about 63,000 pounds, this beast is. Farmer Jim was not kidding. This thing was probably rumbling through towns, and I could feel it. We were shaking a little bit here. He asked if we wanted to back it off. I would let him. This is a big machine. Never had a 673 horsepower tractor on the farm. At least I don't believe. This is the biggest in the Fendt lineup. It's one of the biggest in the world. Biggest in the Fendt lineup. This is a brute. It's 48 degrees, so it's cold enough. Let's listen to this cold start. Smooth. Very smooth. It's actually really quiet. That surprises me. That's not loud at all. It's about as loud as that Ford Maverick hybrid over there. That was a joke, just kidding. Good lights. Big mono weight on the front. Oh, she's loaded up. All day. He didn't need help at all. Touchdown. Boy, that thing is like a bulldozer. This is quite an impressive unit. Alrighty, that's probably good for tonight. We'll dive into what we expect to do with this bad boy tomorrow, but as far as I can tell, I think it's going to be big enough to run the tethers and the rakes, so that's really what we're shooting for. My dad got her filled up. It took 7 jugs of DEF, and then we got tired of carrying it over there, so we stopped. So hopefully that's nearly full. But now we will unveil the whole point of being able to demo this large tractor. We are running a 35-foot John Deere high-speed disc. So let me get a little closer. This puppy is an absolute unit. Like I said, it is 35 feet. This is a high-speed disc, so you want to be running at 10 plus miles an hour. And I believe at the working depth that we want to be at, they recommend 15 to 20 horse per foot. A 673 horsepower Fendt should be close enough to what we need to get it done. So we'll get my dad on camera and talk about his thoughts behind running these units, and we'll get it hooked up. A lot of new equipment has these awesome hydraulic jacks, which I thought would be just another line to upkeep and whatever, but it's actually really nice. So he'll back up real close to the hitch, then we'll plug in, let's see, the red hydraulics, this one and this one, for the hitch. He can figure out, I think there's 8 hydraulics in this tractor, so he'll have to toggle through and figure out which one it is, and he can use that to hydraulically lift and lower the hitch, and we'll get it backed in. What are you doing, BK? It's been a while since you've been on camera. BK used to stand for bad kitty, but now it's best kitty, or better kitty, I suppose. I unfortunately do not have a stand for this camera, so we're gonna act like it's just hooked up here in a second. I have the hydraulic jack plugged in, so my dad needs to activate it up there. I don't exactly know how these hydraulic jacks work, but I'm afraid that I don't want it to be in float before I unlock it. So he goes, okay, which one's it on? And I said purple, and I looked up at him, and he's colorblind. So we better figure that out quick. For the record, I don't know if there's a fail-safe if you can't be in float or whatever. I would think that would be a safety issue. Okay, so to my eyes it matches that one, but it doesn't always match on the screen.
Is it unlocked?
No, I didn't unlock it, but nothing's in float, I believe, so
Okay,
I'll unlock it.
right.
We're gonna try to get Lewis in there. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. There we go. We are gonna play it smart and wait for the deer representative to come out tomorrow before we unfold and everything. We're just excited we're gonna get it hooked up. So I suppose I will see you guys tomorrow. I don't envy the guys taking that down the road. That's pretty wide. I don't really even want to talk about how many of those loads of hay it takes to pay for that. It's not a fun calculation to make by any means. So it is Wednesday morning, the tractor showed up Sunday night, and my dad went crazy with the disc yesterday. This is one of the seed beds he prepped, and Rob got it planted last night into rye. He would have very easily disced 200 acres yesterday, but he stopped because he knew that we needed to get some footage of this baby. I know it's gonna look sweet with the drone above it. So I'm gonna meet him over at the last 40 acres or so, nearly consolidated acres that we're gonna be putting into hay next year. So right now we're planting it to rye. We're gonna hopefully take the rye off early, just mow it, and make some nice long stem rye straw that a lot of racehorse stables like to bed with. So that's a little bit of a profitable venture there. And then, you know, if that's mid-May and we can get a spring seeding in, we will. If the weather doesn't cooperate, then maybe we'll put teff in. Who really knows? It's kind of hard to plan. We found her and she's a beauty. Holy moly, you hardly even got her dirty.
Well, we tried to stay out of the mud.
So you would have hit 200 acres easily yesterday.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. How many acres an hour are you doing with 35 feet?
40 acres an hour.
40 acres an hour at 10 miles per hour. Wow, nice. Okay, we'll ride along a little bit. While we're out here having fun with this new Fendt 1167, I wanted to bring up a point in that I think it can be easy to invest in all this fancy equipment, thinking it will change our lives for the better. And while it often does, like my dad just showed, I often feel that in agriculture, especially in the blue-collar world as a whole, we forget about the most important investment of all, and that's ourselves. And this season has been very long and very difficult. We've been grinding really hard since early May. It's a lot of long days, a lot of late nights, and it's been big demands on the body. And that's why I'm extremely excited to partner with AG1, a daily health drink that combines your multivitamin, pre and probiotics, superfoods, antioxidants into one simple green scoop. You can check them out at drinkag1.com/farminginsider. AG1 easily stacks into my morning routine. I take it every morning before work or right at the beginning of work. And whether I'm climbing into this new Fendt 1167 or drying hay all night like I was last night, I rest assured knowing it helps fill in common nutrient gaps that these long days, long nights, and hectic work schedules create. Since I started taking AG1 about 2 years ago, I really noticed I recover faster, my energy just feels steadier throughout the day, and mentally I feel more dialed in, and that's both on the farm and when I can squeeze a quick workout in. And this really isn't just some flashy fad. AG1 is clinically shown to help fill common nutrient gaps, support gut health, immune defense, and boost overall performance. And this time of year, after a very long season, when fatigue is high and we're heading into the holidays, that really makes a big difference. So if you're a laborer, mover, shaker, farmer, athlete, or someone just trying to juggle it all, give your engine a little extra support. Go to drinkag1.com/farminginsider or scan the QR code to get a free welcome kit. You'll get a bottle of vitamin D3 K2, a shaker bottle, and a sample kit of all 3 flavors. And right now I'm on the tropical flavor, and it is pretty good. So if you guys are already using AG1 or decide to use it, let me know how it works for you in the comment. It's really been a great product for me, and I appreciate the partnership. One of the first just surface level thoughts is I can't really believe how quiet this tractor is. I thought it would just sound like a steam engine rolling through town, but it is really not very loud. It's got a nice deep throaty sound. The audible decimals are low. Boy, that's moving some dirt. That's pretty nice for one pass on soybean stubble, and this is not tremendously dry ground either. We are pushing it just a hair, but we did want to scratch up a little bit of a seed bed for this rye seeding, and then hopefully if we do get this spring hay seeding in, we don't have to do as much harsh tillage at that time. There's no guaranteeing we'll have good conditions or dry ground then either. That's surprisingly powdery for the moisture content of the dirt. Typically in our soils, you'll have moisture like this and you'll just have caked balls. This is darn near like powder. Wow. I'd be very interested in seeing this in corn stubble or corn stalks. I guess stubble is not really the right word. We say soybean stubble around here, and then you say corn stalks. I don't know, whatever. You guys might say something different. Fodder, who knows? All right, I told the viewers I'd let you explain the philosophy behind a high-speed disc for the operation.
Well, usually when we have the crop that we have to put in is either hay or teff, we got such a small window to get it done. So with this high-speed disc, we can go up to 5 inches deep. Should be able to pull it like 10 mile an hour, 35 feet. We'll get over a lot of acres in a hurry. And it'll also make a nice seed bed so we don't have to go over it several times with other stuff. So that's the main thing why we're looking at the high-speed disc in this big tractor.
Pretty much during the middle of hay season, time is absolutely money.
It's crucial.
So another thing, maybe not as important, but a cool idea is that we have some grass pieces we'd probably like to rip out in the next few years.
Yeah.
And that should be able to handle sod, correct?
It should just annihilate sod so we can put another seed in right away that year.
Because historically, what's the issue with?
Usually you got chunks of grass and sod that are in there, but with this disc, it should do a good enough job of working the ground a couple times, and it'd be able to roll it back down and put another seed in.
Put hay right back into it.
Nice.
Yep, instead of needing it to mellow down with a grain crop or something, which everyone knows grain crops are
not paying real
a little
well.
bit hard to pencil, so we're trying our best to stick to hay acreage.
That's what we do. Time is money with hay, that's for sure.
Yeah, time is money with about everything, but I think only other hay farmers can really relate to how imperative literally every second is while the sun's shining in the middle of the season. It is unbelievably important to utilize all that you're given. I believe this ladder goes down. There we go. How we doing?
Okay.
Oh, you got it figured out yet?
Yeah, we had more dry weather coming. We leave it go for a little bit, but
It's a little damp, but we have rain at about 7 o'clock tonight.
yeah.
It could be the last window to do anything. It's also getting fairly late for Rye to go in.
Yeah.
You set up on the single button tool?
Yeah. Leave the disc in the ground if we're skip rows,
Okay.
and it's working real nice.
So on your command over there,
Yeah, you got it. Your fast speed, and then when you come in headland, bump the end, and it slows you down for the turn. And then you got your go is for guidance to take over.
Okay, and when you're going back into the headland, didn't he program it so you're throttled up for a second when you start digging?
Well, he had it that way where you can do the remotes too.
Yeah.
But the John Deere guy said with this tool, they're recommending that we leave it in the ground if we're going every other pass.
Oh, you just said that. Sharp. Yeah, right. Okay, yeah, you just said that.
And then with that hitch that we got back there where it follows the tool around, that makes it real nice too, so you can turn.
So you are running 11 miles an hour, and this is smooth.
Oh,
holy moly. I ignored when you said you're leaving the tool on the ground. Yeah, so when you're doing skip rows, if you weren't, they'd want you to pull it up.
They'd want us to pull it out.
Okay. Is the AB line a little goofy on tracks? Getting used to it, or?
A little bit different than tires, because tires you can turn and just sort of be in the vicinity and the tires grab it. But the tracks, they jerk you back in when you're
pretty aggressive to it. Yeah.
But it's definitely a smooth ride. We were in the field before this, and there was some pretty good washouts in that. And this thing went through them at 10 mile an hour and wasn't bad at all.
Yeah.
It was actually better than it would have been with a tire machine.
It leveled them out pretty well too. Nice.
Yeah. So I'm excited about this tool for getting ground ready for teff and hay.
Yeah.
When we're in a hurry.
Right. I want to showcase a little bit of that hitch. So the idea is that, let me get out on the tracks here and see if I can show it. Okay. I don't think it moves. New tractor to both of us. I think we had to toggle a button over there to turn that sliding hitch on. Now we'll check it out on this turn. You have a button right above your scroll there? Okay,
that's right there.
Yeah, all right.
Turn on.
Okay, I'll check it out on this turn.
Operator here.
Yeah. There we go. Wow. That's amazing. Hey, we'll go bale some hay. Good luck.
Hey, see you, dude.
You're gonna make it over to rake?
Yeah, I'll make it over.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I didn't do too much research on this tool. This was more my dad's pet project, but I believe he's running those two big cylinders right in the middle on floats, and the wings are all the way down, and then I believe the back roller is also in floats. I think it takes 7 hydraulics for this puppy, so. And there's some really neat things with the Fendt, like the overall tractor management system and everything I'd like to go into, but we'll do that at a different time. For now, I just want to showcase the tools. So we'll drive by some of the seedings that Robbie did. He'll probably get going. We're going to try to let this ground dry out a little bit. Believe it or not, even though it's only like 45 degrees, the low humidity and hopefully the breeze that starts coming through shortly and a little bit of sunshine is drying out the hay a little, but it's drying out the ground a decent amount. Whoever mows this beautiful lawn is going to be PO'd. It flings dirt clods quite a ways out, probably 1.5 to 2 feet off to the edge. If this were at the home farm, my mom would not be happy. She'd be dulling the blades quicker than she already does. What my dad worked yesterday and Robbie planted has dried off pretty nice. I mean, it's hard to tell tillage just from the side of the road, but that's a pretty nice seed bed. I mean, I don't have a lot of complaints about that. If that disc is doing that in marginally dry ground, you know, where the moisture is marginal in one pass, I'll be pretty amazed what it'll do in 2 passes on ground that's actually dry that we're gonna put a established hay seeding into. I think this will be a really great tool. I don't really want to think about the cost of the tractor and buying it. Right now it's a demo, so that's something I guess we'll address at a later moment. Right now the demo is working really well. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am filming 2 videos simultaneously, so if you watch this one about the Fendt and you haven't watched the one where we're making fourth cutting hay, you need to go watch the fourth cutting hay one as well, because we're hammering on all fronts. We have 300 acres of hay down, doing tillage on 200 acres, planting rye on 200 acres. Justin spread lime and fertilizer on over 300 acres, so we're just hammering on all fronts. Today is Wednesday and we have rain coming in tonight at about 7. It's the push. It could be the final push of the year. I hope it's not, but it just might be. So take it easy, guys.